have some problems to deal with.
I'm still fascinated to see what this Nyx does to this Medusa. Looking forward to this one, boys. I'll let you take it away.
Take it away we shall. We're coming into game number 1, Spirit up against BetBoom. This Largo is definitely a question mark for me. I feel like we've seen this hero just get beat up in lane. Doesn't exactly feel that great in recovery. And then the Axe is there, of course, but late and then I would say ineffective to what you really want from him, right? So what's the game plan for BetBoom to really secure these lanes?
GPK, he has to pop off. Like, this is the hero that needs to create space, because you have Largo and Medusa as your... This is basically having, like, back in the days, Doom plus Medusa type of a lineup where both of them want to be taking the farm. They're super slow. They don't have any kind of ways of setting things up. So it needs to be GPK. And looking at the heroes that they do have, they have a good amount of stuns, good amount of control to deal with this Storm Spirit, so we'll see how much he's going to be able to get. Collapse will be playing the offlane Slaughter. A lot of the times, Slaughter tends to fall flat in some of these matchups from the offlane where you can't really threaten the enemy carry. Medusa should definitely be fine in this one, but Root seems like he wants to start at the top lane. We've seen even like a full tri-lane on tri-lane action. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? But they want to start strong. They want to be able to maybe get a kill. Never mind. Everybody is back. Panto did TP back to the bottom lane.
You have Panto on this Jakiro going bottom, and then you'll have potentially some aggression, I would say, with Yutoro and Rue in this top lane. Wouldn't be surprised if Nyx Assassin really plays aggressively, but does have to be careful to the catchy licks and the damage that Save could put on. This is one of those heroes I feel like earlier in Save's ascendancy to amazing support and, like, in the eyes of everybody, it was this Ringmaster that we saw him play a lot.
Yeah, I would say if I wanted to lane a Ringmaster, my first pick would probably be Save to be laning with him. I do feel this hero is strong, slightly underutilized. I do feel the hero like his toolkit is insanely strong. Do not underestimate the value coming out from Wheel of Wonder. Gives you a good amount of team fight. But I also want to see how much Rue is going to be able to help out Yatro. This is not a strong laning support by any means. And right now, burning not as much mana as you would maybe want to. So it will give Largo a much better lane than maybe they expected to.
Yeah, mana burn goes from 16 all the way at top level 25.
Yeah.
That is 25%. We talked about how we felt like 30% on some spells is very high. 25% is a big number to just be burning like that on a relatively at level 4 short cooldown, 6.5 seconds. Could get pretty disgusting out here. One of the things, too, with these Ringmasters, I think Impalement Arts is an insane spell with how much you can just spam this later on.
It's one of the best harassment spells in the lane as well. Gets very difficult for enemy position 5 to square up against you. Your level 2 is also insanely strong. If you can use the Catch a Lick, put them into the Frog Stomp, and then you have Tame the Beast, push them out, Impalement Arts to slow them down. Quite a lot of control between these two heroes.
Yeah, top max damage on Tame the Beast, level 1, 180. And that combined with, like you said, the Catch a Lick and the Frog Stomp is disgusting. So this lane, I could see BetBoom maybe playing high tempo, high octane, but bottom lane, Kiritichir with Ketomi on the Bane. We've been seeing more and more of this Bane.
It's his signature hero. But the hero is strong. I feel the hero also falls flat in a lot of these situations, especially if your XP rune gets stolen. He is also one of the better ones to go in and contest it, but we have seen recently and so far at Wallachia that teams are bringing in numbers, not just 3 heroes, sometimes even bringing 4 heroes and letting the offlaner potentially take the XP Shrine on their side of the map. TP.
Oro running away from GPK, avoids those Impalement Arts, thrown over by Save, and even tips him.
It's a good tip. This one's good. Like seeing him come with a TP, wasting a little bit more time allows you to actually play slightly more aggressive in the top lane.
It's gonna expand on your point about offlaners taking the Shrine. I feel like I've been seeing this shift on Shrine taking in general. I think cores have been getting a little bit more priority at like that 21-minute Shrine.
As a core player.
Whoa. As a support player, I disagree wholeheartedly. Ketomi is going to try and run. Southern Crush is there. First blood for Collapse. Sardar, someone who needs to have that good start to really maintain through the game. Starter can struggle at times to farm, but when you get this early aggression, you're able to get a kill under your belt and lane, especially the first blood. You're going to feel much better about the game overall. The early harassment coming in with the Jakiro, that with Sardar, having, of course, Bash of the Deep in with that Slithering Crush can make positioning very difficult for these heroes. Crush comes out, Panto, that Mystic Snake, killing off this Jakiro, so they get revenge pretty quickly.
Ooh, I want to see how much damage that Snake did, because it looked like 200 damage the last bounce. And GPK forced the jungle. We've seen mid laners also go into this area of the map. They farm their level 6s. When Puck is not having that good time over in the lane, he kind of goes there. And GPK as well knows that he doesn't want to get rotated on. If he gets his level 6, he's going to be fine. They can't really stun lock him from 100 to 0.
He's over here just trying to farm the jungle. Meanwhile, he is top CS, so it's not like his lane's going too poorly, but adding to that and trying to maybe accelerate a little bit. The Lestrak, meanwhile, close to that 6 there too. And we are at that 5-minute mark where we're kind of expecting, all right, in about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, these supports are going to leave, go towards mid. And I would say both supports for BetBoom and truly both supports for both teams can make pretty significant moves. There is a lot to bring to the table when it comes to going and controlling that 6-minute rune.
3 out of 4 are extremely strong. You can take a guess which fourth one isn't really as strong as rotating to the mid lane.
Gorgon's Grasp and Mystic Snake, that's killing a Panto. Save getting that one and making that rotation to kill off one of those heroes that's very good at rotating to mid.
And now they're making a move to the mid lane. If they can maybe get a potentially a sleep, if they can get Impalement Arts. GPK, he's steeping in. Level 5.5. Needs some extra bit of XP to get that level 6.
Meanwhile, Laro did hit 6 first. They've brought both supports over here. They were looking for a stun, but the Vortex stops him. Tame the Beast with the Fear. And Laro already low. A 2-man Impale is not going to matter. Miero even making the rotation. Frog stomping. Spike Carapace and a kill for Panto and a Kataomi, but they'll lose Rue. So 2 heroes die on Spirit. A rotation from the offlane of BetBoom to make sure that they can secure a bigger advantage in this. And they also now bottle that Invis Rune.
What a bait from GPK. They definitely planned this type of a move, knowing that it was probably his call, saying that Leshrac has more XP because he went to the jungle. He wasn't getting as much XP from the lane, which means that Leshrac is getting more, and GPK hits them with the U Blue at 2 supports immediately rotating. And there was no vision whatsoever from Team Spirit to see this move coming. And also bringing Miero. I think we've seen also not just offlaners rotating 6-8 minutes potentially to secure the rune for their mid laner. We've seen TP rotations, but we've also seen carry rotating for 8-minute rune if necessary. I don't think Kiritich as Medusa is going to rotate, but if you have slightly more active heroes, something like a Weaver potentially, you can definitely make a move. We've seen VTune do it quite often. Yeah,
he was very willing. He was going to be my example. And no aggressive shrine attempts coming out from either side. Especially here for Spirit, where Nyx Assassin's one of those heroes that you really need 6. You need to get that 6. Your effectiveness goes up tenfold when you finally have access to that Vendetta. And truthfully, you can kind of lead the charge with a hero like Sardar, who, at least queued currently for Collapse, is going into that early blink. So you could be that mobile ward. You're going to get that information. And I think Spirit's going to be happy with what they can get if that Vendetta starts to, become available for them and Collapse gets that blink at a decent timing.
Vision Games should be on their side. Having Temporal Assassin with traps, later with the Silence, once you upgrade that, you have Nyx Assassin, you have Corrosive Haze, and you also, the downside, I'll hold that dot. Oh, GPK styling on him, gets it mid-zip.
That's a regen rune. Not something you want to mess with. There are 3 heroes by Spirit, but Panto, he might be left. Rue's actually turning around just to throw some mana burn into the face of GPK, but GPK's got that regen rune and doesn't really care.
Good start for GPK. We said it needs to be him making the moves. He's playing with the supports, leaving Largo and leaving Medusa to get some extra farm. Right now, on top of the network, GPK by quite a huge margin. And something to point out as well is also that there are 2 bounty runes to be picked up, but also when you play Nyx Assassin without Scuttle Facet, it also means that your Vendetta is not going to be as effective. You don't have those 15 seconds of hasted and unobstructed pathing, so it's not going to happen. It's going to be much difficult for Rue to set things up.
Yeah, a little bit more difficult to kind of get in that position. We'll see if that affects him as they start to get towards that level 6. He is still just level 4, and he's not exactly progressing too quickly with the kills coming out and the aggression from BetBoom team so far. But I will say it is Storm Spirit leading the charge, and then the next 3 until Largo had jumped up for a second being, and there it is back, those Team Spirit heroes. So all 3 lanes still going well for Spirit. It's the supports that are struggling for them overall. And now Rue, this is pretty standard. Give him the mid lane, or give your struggling support the mid lane, right?
Yeah. Gotta give him something. I also want to see if he's gonna be maybe putting slightly more points into mana burn. Not necessarily max it out, but 2 points in Impale sounds pretty good. But you also want to be getting that Mind Flare. You are playing against Medusa after all. Collapse, gonna be fine in the bottom lane. Pretty tanky, does have Raindrop. Pretty much 6 slotted, as we say, for the early game. This Snake, oof.
It hurts. Can't just stand there and hope to not get hit by that Snake. Ice Path lands on 2 of these heroes. Team to be short, but lands on both through as well. So Aro, they get the kill into GPK. And Miero coming and rotating again. So he shows up, they'll make the trade onto Laurel. Getting that Frog Stomp down and helping out to at least salvage the situation. Because Spirit started that one by hitting off on that Storm Spirit.
Ooh, this has to be one of the Largos that I've seen rotate the most. Usually Hero is just AFK farming until he gets his Aghanim Scepter. But while all this is happening, Yatoro, we haven't talked too much about him. He was the one managing to secure a good amount of damage onto that tier 1 tower. Kataomi looking for the angle, GPK, big zip.
Yeah, big zip in, but not really amounting to much. Impale landed on 2. He uses a lot of mana for that Vortex. Stun lands from Laurel. They're going to go after Kataomi, but they've got 4 heroes here. Laurel can't commit to this one with how many heroes have come over for BetBoom team, and I'm a little worried that when you do, when it's successful, yeah, it looks good. But when you bring a lot of heroes and you don't get anything from it, with the rest of the team of Spirit farming, you're going to start to fall behind.
Oh, you will. Yeah, they are bringing in numbers. So far, it has been working out for BetBoom team. Bringing in pretty much 4 heroes to every engagement, and also bringing in neutral items to this previous fight. They did have Ash Legion Shield on Largo and double Ash Legion Shield coming out from the Ringmaster as well, and they also had Cobalt Cup. So quite a lot of these small items early on that they picked up. They managed to go back. They have a lot more, because at these early engagements, you have really limited amount of damage that you can deal.
Kind of be able to stick on these heroes, move around, and hope that you can get towards that damage. Kaya next for GPK, it's just Medusa, of course, Manta. No, Manta Scotty, and then Butterfly. At least the eyes are on that. Wheel of Wonder hypnotizes Laurel. Doesn't have a lot of mana, and the Impalement Arts, that Wheel of Wonder is going to explode and get the kill. Forcing him back,
here
but
again.
Really well placed by Save to get that Wheel of Wonder, and it's 4 heroes over mid once more. Miero not afraid to leave the lane and leave the stacks that he's farming to get these kills.
Oh man, Miero's rotations have been crazy. He is also the one getting, like, if you think about his rotations, it kind of does make sense. Frog Stomp is an insanely good ability. It deals almost 500 damage. GPK, oh, this time around, Rue is gonna get him. That even 1 point in Mind Flare, the mana burn fast, that deals so much.
It hurts. I believe he initially hit him with the Vendetta too, and takes out the Storm.
Now level 7. This is the type of a kill that you need as Nyx Assassin. He has Shield Rune, no Vendetta for 30 seconds. This hero was so good. This hero was actually broken back when you could use Mind Flare onto creeps, one-shot them. It was a bit too OP. Everybody was playing it. Everybody was going Dagon as well, where you can one-shot a hero throughout the whole game.
Basically just getting a bunch of gold, and then you were super farmed. But these days, Nyx Assassin a little bit more tame. They got Ringmaster involved, tame that beast. He did the patch notes. Sardar close to getting that Blink Dagger, and that's going to be that moment where Spirit are going to be able to use that Vendetta when it's off cooldown and reaching and trying to get these kills if they so choose to play aggressive immediately. Collapse is at 500 gold, and probably, might want the Shard before they go for that. He's not too far away from it. He's farming at a decent chunk. Obviously, it's still not available in stock for the next minute 20, but once he gets there and has that, then I could see them smoking going. And
yeah, I'm looking at Yatoro. Imagine being 15 seconds slower than the average on that Deso.
Damn.
He's level 12. We're seeing Templar Assassin pop off pretty much in every single game. They're not as active. Maybe you can get some like return kills in the lane, but most of the time you are sitting at 0-0-0. Next Assassin, good
Rock
save.
stomped on that. They have the escape back, but Miero taking a lot of damage, able to survive. Save was able to get the Wheel of Wonder out and keep him alive. But Fiend's Grip now onto the starter who wanted to get involved with that Blink Dagger. Collapse needs to run away. He's not quite dead yet, but he is very low with all 5 heroes here from the side of Team Spirit. They've got Yatoro coming in with a Desolator of his own that he just finished off 15 seconds off the average. But the team fight ends with nobody dying.
Nobody really wanted to commit harder. Wheel of Wonder did hit, and very nice saves coming out from Ringmaster. Getting Wheel of Wonder, that 1 point in escape back was enough. This is the 1-2 combo that we're going to be seeing. I mean, they have like 3 Blink Dagger buyers on side of Spirit, so any of them can be paired up with Nyx Assassin when Vendetta's off cooldown and try to grab a kill.
You've got follow-up stun there too, right? Because you've got Panto on the Jakiro, Blink, Southern Crush, Ice Path goes over it. You've got an Impel. You have so much lockdown for Spirit. Same is not entirely true for Bet Boom, but they do have their own fair share of lockdown in different forms. Frog Stomp, Vortex, Fiend's Grip, Nightmare.
But what is this? An IQ test? Same is entirely not true. It feels like solving one of those. These are the type of questions that you get.
14 down. This is a save that you would use on an ally. Could be Escape Act, could be Nightmare.
I just lost an IQ trying to understand this. And Laurel, Blink Dagger as the first item. He's the one trying to play with Nyx Assassin first, but I can also see Team Spirit try to go for a smoke and try to make something happen, maybe in the top part of the map as well, where they can easily take Roshan. Slaughter, level 11, still level 1 Corrosive Haze, but with that Deso and Templar Assassin, it's more than enough damage. BetBoom team, they don't really have a team that can actually kill Roshan early on. This is Medusa, Storm. Other 3 heroes don't really do much.
Kurtic just got back onto the tower, but he was farming in a spot that didn't have a sentry to defend against Nyx Assassin making that rotation over. So they know exactly where he's going to be, and maybe they'll lead with that Leshrac. But instead, Collapse is here, and they've got some heroes, and Laro shows himself. So Medusa is not actually going to be the one who gets jumped on. It'll be Kathomi, who will be killed off by the side of Spirit.
They didn't want that kill. They wanted something bigger. Ideally, they want to pick off Medusa. And look at Yatoro in the mid lane. He's the one now with the Blink Dagger, trying to put more pressure onto the tower.
Miero now getting jumped by Collapse and Laurel. Stun connects, and that is going to be a dead Largo. Throws down a Frog Stomp, but it's not enough to save his life. He's shortly going to be into that Aghanim Scepter, but slowing it down even a little is going to be good for Spirit.
Largo, he goes in. He gets the kill. Level 12 now in Lesh, 2 points in Pulse Noah. Huge damage increase from 80 to 135. It does cost 20 more mana.
Vendetta back up. See if Nyx Assassin, he's there with Collapse, might just use it, immediately go into the triangle. GPK continuing to farm, and he wants to survive early with this BKB. We've been seeing a lot of these early BKBs. Definitely good to have that early protection. Miero getting one of the better neutrals on Largo as well. The getting that Searing Signet. For,
Mystical Searing Signet.
Yeah.
Extra magic resistance, extra mana regen, exactly what he needs on the hero.
It's the perfect fit. Got the ring size right. Well, yeah, Signet's on a ring, I believe.
I believe so.
Anto just down bottom, pushing in. And early on, has that Liquid Fire maxed out so he can pressure these towers all by himself. Doesn't want to be greedy and be in the lane. Kuritic gets caught for a second by Collapse, but a TP from GPK. Goes after Panto, and Ice Path is there. However, Panto most likely losing his life easily, and with Kathomi in the vicinity there too, there was no way for him to really get out of this one. They will take the tier 1 mid while all this is going on. So it's Spirit 6, BetBoom 9. And they move over to maybe catch, save Miero and Kathomi. But
who's on the chase?
He might be able to wrap around and save Lauro, but the ball landing in there, looking to get the Vortex potential, and Lauro's taking a lot of damage from the Wheel of Wonder exploding. He's trying to survive, but the Frog Stomp 2 doing a hefty load onto Lauro, and GPK with an easy kill, again, moving around the map really well for Beppu.
They're outmaneuvering Team Spirit in the last couple of minutes. Right now, they are bringing in 4. Rue is very low on HP. Ideally for Spirit, you would want to get a pick off, maybe 2 here, and immediately go to the Roche pit.
Their responses have been numerous for Bedboom. Really like what they're getting done, and Kiritich getting involved early on this Medusa, even pushing this mid-tier 1 tower. So not afraid to be here at all. And that's just with Manta.
He's swapping the items around. Usually it is Manta-style Butterfly into Scotty, but this time around it is Butterfly Scotty into Butterfly. I guess he wants to have more tankiness just so that he cannot be bursted. Even though there are 2 saves on their side, like even Largo provides you with the save, but it's not like the best save, like he's not replenishing mana to you. So you need to drop low, you need to lose all of your mana, and then maybe he can try to get a save. But you do have Nightmare, you do have Ringmaster with the Wheel of Wonder and the Escaped Act. Tormentor, easily killed for Team Spirit, immediately to the bottom lane. That's going to be another objective, but does seem like Bedboom team still wants to take the fight. GPK, freshly bought BKB, 9-second BKB, he's ready to go.
They have the Ob Sentry, and Kiritich kind of giving that away. Nyx Assassin having to back off that area, but they're coming around with a smoke, ball lighting in. They'll look for this Templar Assassin, the Fiend's Grip even committed with the Wheel of Wonder. That's going to be a dead Yatoro TA. And now both these heroes trying to get through the Twin Gate. One does, the other doesn't. Panto ends up dead. GPK gets that one. Rue fortunate enough that he was going to be the one inside that catchy lick.
Rue
has himself a
Midas. Hand of Midas. Ideally, you would want to have Midas that gives XP on this hero so that you get more levels, but this was a really nice play from Bedboom team, and if they can take away Roche from Team Spirit, Templar Assassin is not going to feel as comfortable playing into this matchup. Pretty much the only good thing they have against Medusa is going to be mana burn, and I think they will realize that, and GPK will jump Nyx Assassin with the BKB and try to kill him, and then Kiritich can take care of the rest.
So while a scary proposition to pick a Medusa into the Nyx Assassin, it seems as though they've got the tools necessary to make sure that they're able to stick on to the Nyx and get him out of the fight early enough where Medusa feels unharmed. Especially with this Aegis on GPK. He did pop that BKB, so they're not going to have that if they want to fight within the next minute or so.
Yep, tested it out. It does work.
Turns on. Had a call with, you know, customer support. Check if it works. It does. And by waiting to have that BKB back up, that means Medusa's going to have the Ice Scotty ready to go in the next fight. And you're hitting this point where these pretty big significant items are coming through for Bedboom. The net worth is even, however, it does feel like the tempo is being controlled by Radiant.
Yeah, I want to see what the win probability is, because the game is even, but I would give huge advantage to Bedboom team in this one. Oh, it is massive. I was maybe thinking like that it's going to be like 65-35. In my book, I would say might be even lower for Team Spirit, considering the matchup that Medusa does have in this one. Templar Assassin, like, she needs quite a lot of items to be able to punch back against this hero, and GPK off to such a great start. BKB holding the Aegis as well. Next fight is pretty much going to determine in which direction the game's going to go.
We're kind of seeing one of the problems with Slardar, right? Like, his farm isn't amazing. He's towards the bottom of the cores, and he hasn't exactly accelerated the team into getting a lot of kills with that early Blink Dagger Shard combo.
Yeah, they couldn't really find openings, but it also comes down to Nyx Assassin. Like, you can see the downside of Mana Burn Facet when he's trying to go for the initiation. He doesn't have that extra 120 move speed or so. It is still level 1 Vendetta. Pretty long cooldown, 80 seconds. And this is not the target that they want to jump.
Not the target they want to go for, not the follow-up they would like, because nobody else is there with Rue, but maybe they find somebody in the backline, get a support or something like that. Still wouldn't be what they want. There's that Ice Scotty getting delivered for the Medusa. Expect him to come, what it looks like, coming through the Twin Gate to join them.
It's a lot of slow. You're playing against range heroes. 25% if they're melee, 50 if you're ranged. So half of your move speed is gone.
Yikes.
Leshrac and Templar Assassin are the range hero. Jakiro, we're not going to mention him. This hero I feel like is going to die in 3 hits in a fight from either Storm or Medusa. And immediately to the bottom lane, they're utilizing these twin gates really well. Let's see if Yatoro is going to get caught by this move.
He's got a Leshrac and a Nyx Assassin by him, but the vision game right now for the Radiant is really quite nice.
They're trying to sand
Ball
this in.
lightning.
Now tell me from a different side.
BKB starting early for the Templar Assassin just to run away. They had the vision, they had the information, but didn't quite jump the Templar Assassin to have that hold. But they did get the BKB out with not much used. Low commitment BKB take. Looking up out of the high ground once more. Frog Stomp trying to stop this Nyx Assassin who will get away. They had a trap on the high ground anyway. More movements coming in from Bet Boom, forcing Spirit to kind of sit back and not be able to respond. 25 minutes in, Collapse is trying to farm, and you do see the Jakiro trying to get something under his belt, and that's going to be the Glimmer Cape, trying to have himself a little bit of more survivability or save for an ally.
Radiant are scanning.
The one winning it all so far in the supports, though, is this Ringmaster.
And that's even without charge. Jakiro was the one who got it. GPK, early BKB, Nyx.
Vortex onto Rue, and they should get this kill easily. Nyx Assassin out of the equation, and that just means Medusa feels much more safe.
Yeah, that's what we said. He's going to be the one jumping Nyx Assassin, knowing that they have no saves available on their side. So if he gets initiated on, he drops. It also means that it's going to be much easier for Medusa to come into a play. And the big combo in this one is also Croak of Genius with Storm Spirit, so you don't use as much mana. It lasts for a really, really long time.
I tried to use that once. Fortunately, I used Croak of Idiot. Did not work out as well.
That's your ulti.
Yeah. That's me when I'm casting play-by-play in a team fight. It's Croak of Idiot. Kiritich just continuing to farm for free. And this first stage, it doesn't give them a lot of kills, but Bet Boom have kind of set up the game to a point where they like, right? They're ahead of these big items. It does feel as though they're ready to set up quite nicely for the next 5, 7, 10 minutes or so. And the objective is exactly what you said. Kill Nyx Assassin early. They got that early BKB for Storm just to do that. Make sure that they can stick on him. And now they'll find Collapse. He pops this BKB, and he does have the rest of the team showing up. Rue's going to be in the area. They'll go to the Vendetta hit, but they'll miss the stun. So Rue losing that opportunity to kind of get that locked up, but they still get the kill on a Miero. A good kill for Spirit to get. They'd like to get a little bit more, but anything they can get right now is going to feel quite good.
They need to fight around Medusa. Medusa, like, 2 supports right now, they can't really go for a kill with the offlaner. This is not this type of a lineup. They need to be paired up with either Storm Spirit, or they need to all group up around Medusa. It seems like Kiritich is waiting to finish off his Butterfly. That's a big damage increase, and also sways the matchup heavily until Templar Assassin gets MKB. And it seems like that's going to be the item of a choice on TA, sitting on 1,600 gold right now. Yatra already knows this Butterfly is coming.
Veil for the Storm. Tier 2 getting low. A lot of heroes here to just commit onto the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Still, Spirit's team fight worries me. I think the second Rue is taken out of these fights, the percentage of victory in a fight goes down pretty heavily.
Their lockdown is slightly limited on side of Bet Boom.
Yeah.
It needs to be Storm Spirit getting the jump, and he's looking for Nyx again.
Dust, and it's there. They've caught him. Nyx Assassin will try to stun, but he can't survive. Save getting the kill and on a killing spree. And without that Nyx Assassin alive, you know you're free to roam the map for the next 40 seconds and potentially look for more. Or just farm and continue to bolster up. You've got the Butterfly Scotty. Kiritich isn't getting touched. That is the scariest thing when you talk about a Medusa lineup.
She's staying on top of the network. Yatoro is keeping up, but again, it gets very difficult for you to play against Medusa. This Scotty just destroys Templar Assassin, reducing your move speed by 50%, you being the range hero. And also, we're seeing, again, downside of Nyx Assassin. I think if he has the other facet in that area, he survives during first first 15 seconds of Vendetta, he would be okay. Mana burn, of course, kind of needed in this one. You are playing against Medusa, but we haven't still seen it being used to...
Do you think he got baited? It almost feels like a bait to mana burn.
I think you have to. I think you have to no matter what. It's just that you're used to playing Nyx Assassin with a different facet, so it definitely feels different.
Just seems like this Nyx Assassin 1-3-3, not really finding much opportunity. Rue is going into the Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to feel pretty good, especially if they get pushed to this point where they have to kind of sit on the high ground and defend.
And he will get there. This is Nyx Assassin with Midas and Greedy Facet.
Ooh.
100 extra GPM coming out for him.
Meanwhile, Jakiro took Whisper of the Dread Mystical, so no GPM Facet for the Jakiro. Now, those always make me look at the supports, because you see that Save, he's not taking his tier 3 neutral. He's still actually sticking on his tier 2. Probably didn't get greedy again for the 100, so he's keeping it on the 75. And then Bane doesn't have greedy at all. Kiritich moving bottom to help secure this Arcane Rune for GPK. Roche is coming towards bottom, and it was a smoke from Spirit. Kind of expecting them to make a move in that sense. But even with these smokes, Nyx isn't really the one leading anymore. Not the idea that I really expected initially from him. And maybe he realizes he can't be that leader with the vision that they have down. He needs to be a little bit further back, have somebody else lead, like Collapse, who's got that BKB, so he can get those mana burns off.
I was about to say, I think they need a gem as well. You see Templar Assassin, Traps, Nyx Assassin. And Nyx Assassin's also just 1,000 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, so you will need to see this hero to try to kill him. When he's underground, 40% damage reduction. It's gonna need to be Medusa taking care of that business, and Medusa also just hit level 20, so 3 extra Mystic Snake bounces. Plus, has Heritage Shiv with the alert. All the damage, even like the small item, the Casual Crystallis, that's going to be upgraded later. Collapse, leading the charge, plans down Observer Ward.
Smoke gets broken on Kiritich, throws the Gorgon's Grasp, looking for something, but doesn't find it. Ball Lightning still. Empty hands for GPK. Working with this gem, Laurel blinks in, but then the Ball Lightning into the Vortex. They're going to try and get the kill onto the Shrek early. He's taking so much damage, not surviving this one bit. Laurel's dead for 65. He went in, the rest of his team didn't really have the ability to commit. Collapse was kind of in there as well, but not really focusing a hero. I think he realized immediately that Laurel was just dying too quickly. He had to bail.
Yeah, these type of heroes like Leshrac, Death Prophet, I know it's not a hero right now, but they always hated to play into long-range turrets like Drow Ranger, Medusa, of course, and also Terrorblade. These are the heroes that build into Scotty, except for Drow Ranger, but she has a built-in slow, so you're unable to move, and if you only have your BKB timing to deal damage, you're not going to be able to just get stuff done. Immediately on the other side of the map, GPK still smoked, looking for Panto.
Could Ball Lightning and close the gap, and that's exactly what he will do, but TA tries to turn this one around and get some damage on his GPK. Ice Path misses it now. The problem is Yatoro's going to be locked up by the Wheel of Wonder. They have the rest over here. Yatoro trying to survive with the BKB, gets out and out of the way from Miero, but they're sticking with him. The BKB is going to run out. He can't TP away, and he'll end up dead. Double kill for GPK, and this is where the game opens up. Not only did you just get an Aegis, but you did just get a kill on their carry, and that is big-time positivity for Betbu. Tame the Beast onto Collapse. They don't want to follow this up as they're kind of lacking the mana on some of these heroes, and they don't have everybody there. And this will now be Aghanim Scepter for Rue. But the positioning has to be really good from him because they have the gem on Storm.
Yeah, he can jump whoever he wants. They're going to lose quite a lot of vision. And Kiritich, right now we're seeing the hero in action again. Laurel just dropping to Save's dagger.
Impalement arts, man, even late in the game, feels so effective.
I think Bedboom wants to try to close this one out. They had a couple of issues dealing with Team Spirits' split push. Immediately they were trying to jump in front, but now they have the banner and off to the high ground. But look at this mana burn. Aghanim Scepter completed, another mana burn already.
Yeah, this is what I was saying though. They're just able to Ball Lightning and kill Rue.
He has no buyback.
This gem that he can't survive.
They know. He just finished off the Aghanim Scepter.
You're going to at least lose this tier 3, probably the whole set. before you're able to respond if you don't want to use Laurel's buyback, which you really don't. I guess the fortunate thing is that they still have a tier 2 mid. So they can't lose 2 sets. Because they're not going to run up top to go get that.
Still holding the Aegis. And also, Largo just got his level 20 in the previous fight. 50% grew in armor aura. You are playing against physical damage, Templar Assassin, and also Slardar, which means that you have good amount of protection. Plus the Solar Crest on Ringmaster, which is also going to be used as an offensive tool when Medusa is sieging the high ground. Double mana boots as well from both of the supports to replenish mana. Ideally, you also want to be having those Lotuses. There are 4 Lotuses on the right side and 1 Lotus on the other side of the map.
Looking at this Bet Boom lineup, and I'm a little bit nervous we're going to become a Medusa patch again. You said it's finding more popularity, and it's showing to be strong even against something like the Nyx Assassin. Obviously, that's also the heroes around it and how the way Bet Boom have been playing. But we've seen this hero feel really strong, and, you know, twice today already.
Radiant are scanning. Dire are scanning.
How many Medusa patches can we have? Deep Vision placed down by Team Spirit. Seeing if they maybe could use that information to start to get their way back into the game. They're down 10,000 net worth. And they really need to get, honestly, anything they can. The best kill of which would probably be GPK to take away the gem.
Medusa is on a completely different side of the map. They do have outposts, so he can TP to an outpost after he gets that Shrine of Wisdom, and immediately to the top lane. It seems like this is the area where they want to be holding. They have double Observer Ward in the enemy triangle, still holding the Aegis. Nyx Assassin would definitely love to be level 15 to have extra 3 seconds less on that mana burn.
Halfway to that level, so it's going to take some time. Southern Crush, and then the Ball Lightning. He's kind of searching for this Nyx Assassin, but Rue hiding himself in between the tier 4 towers. They get the kill on a Panther. They're going to catch you, lick on a Yatoro. Damage followed up. Aeon just popped, so now Miero's going to be able to pop that BKB and stay in the face of the heroes on the side of Team Spirit. They get underground, but things are heavy when you're underground.
Look at the Snake.
And the Mystic Snake doing so much to Laurel to get that kill out of the Leshrac. And with the gem, they see the Nyx Assassin, meaning Rue's got no options but to die. Collapse, BKB, last-ditch effort to survive. Buyback's going to be committed by the Nyx Assassin. But again, nothing is really stopping GPK from just going in and digging him up again. Trusty Shovel might be out of the game, but when he's got a gem, he can dig Rue right out of the ground.
Another BKB ready in 25 seconds. Croak of Genius again. Mana cost reduced by 15% on GPK. Oh. It's a lot. Like, it gets pretty insane how much you can do, and this is the reason why they kind of respected this Nyx Assassin, taking him out every single time before the fight starts.
It's the first time I think we saw Kiritich with less than 10% mana. But still had an Aegis for 4 more seconds anyway, gonna get all this mana back. They might even just be able to re-go. And a Hex for GPK makes things so much harder. Another layer of control added to the Bet Boom lineup. That on top of the fact that they've got these BKBs, they have this gem, they know where you're kind of sitting on the Nyx Assassin, and it's just so tough to survive. And Yatoro might be the next one in trouble if he gets spotted on this bottom lane. But Ball Lightning goes in, Leshrac caught, not able to survive at all in this game.
There's one mana burn. He does have Cold-Blooded.
Stun. Landing, Ball Lightning, but Spike Carapace thinking about GPK, now puts him out of mana. Impalement Art's thrown over on Rue as well as Panto. They get the Ice Path down, but the Fiend's Grip is onto the Slardar. Wheel of Wonder means they've got the continued lockdown. They get the kill there, and they'll look over now at Miero. He's quite tanky. That strength gain and everything that he's got going for him is going to give him a lot of HP, up at 4,000 HP for this Frog. It's disgusting.
GPK, he would love to have some extra bit of mana. He's jumping in.
Is out just too far, gets caught, and Rue's going to be dead without buyback dip for 70 seconds, and they're going to try and get themselves back into the base because they've used these BKBs. However, the fight split. Panto has to go north, so does Collapse. He's got no BKB. There's nowhere for him to go. GG is called. I mean, Miero on this Frog's treating Spirit like a bunch of stamps, just licking him down and flattening him out.
And GPK immediately with the fist bumps on the side for a good reason. He was the one controlling the tempo of this game, playing with Frog.
If the teams are as intimidated as that, just go to the game. I got nothing for that. Great job. Good interview.
we'll take it from here as we've got Spirit coming up against Bet Boom in game number 2. A nice little insight into the world of and mind of Milan. I think it was. I like the interviews like that.
Yeah, I like Slack's interview period. You don't know what you're getting, whether it's his last interview, because he might say something. But yeah, that's a very interesting draft coming out from Bet Boom team. Definitely not expected anything similar. Again, it needs to be GPK. It needs to be him having a good game. In the previous one, it was Croak of Genius paired up with the Storm Spirit. This time around, it is Tiny with Keeper of the Light, and Save being one of the best Keeper of the Light players in the world. I would definitely put him up there. Maybe GH has like more iconic stuff because he's the old school and also managed to do more, I would say, but Save is definitely up there.
They're cooking with something with this lineup, having that Necrophos with the Muerta. Something very ethereal is going on, and we'll see what they can get done with this lineup. And you know, I'm kind of looking at the Beastmaster. I feel like we've had some examples of where this hero falls off a little bit later on, like late-ish, 35, 40-ish. We've seen some struggles, but it's not just it's not like a damage problem or anything. It's that the other team, I feel like, has a little bit more in the late game in the past when we've seen Beastmaster late.
I think this time around, it's not going to be as hard for him. Once he gets to his BKB time, they have like no abilities that go through debuff immunity. We've seen good amounts of refreshers, mostly from the mid Beastmasters. From the carry role, you see it maybe as a like 5th, 6th item. Collapse, in trouble.
Blood Grenade landed, but the Shackles will control Kiritich, and the onslaught back, but first blood for Kethomi. Kiritich will die to Rue in return.
And most importantly, he did not get his Tranquils. Even though Primal Beast, this is Collapse we're talking about, before he was even building Sunstrike.
Lands the Sunstrike, but eats the Fairy Fire, Ether Shock, and another kill. A double for Rue.
Yeah, Collapse was the one who was also building into Bongo Boots from the offlane on Primal Beast, even before this Tranquil Boots meta was popular. So might do it, if it gets cancelled.
What do you like about this Necro? Or, you know, pros, cons, what do you like and dislike about this Necro? I'll ask you the whole kit and caboodle.
You're playing against some high HP heroes. You're playing against Primal Beast. You're playing against Beastmaster as well. Problem is you're playing in a good amount of lockdown. You're playing into BKB piercing tools as well. They have like 3 BKB piercing abilities. I don't think this is going to be as easy game for Muerta. A lot of the times you see this here and you're like, oh, they don't have many things. But even if you use Roar, if you use Pulverize, you get Hex during the BKB timing. She's gonna lose like half of the value of the BKB duration to try to deal the damage. And I'm looking at the saves that they have this time around. Oh, Sunstrike barely misses. Save almost walked into it.
But in not walking into it, he was able to get the Illuminate out. They get the kill into Panto. And we'll get something in this top lane finally going for them. Not bad overall.
Miero, so far in his career, has 6 games on Necrophos.
When was the last time? What's it looked like in the last 5 months? How many games?
I don't think he played it a single time, but he has won 3 out of 6 games. And let me just double check that real quick.
Write that down, as it's 50-50.
Well, he actually played it against Yellow Submarine 3 days ago. Okay.
What was it before that, though? What was the game before that?
Played it at Dream League as well, so they still do believe in this hero.
Okay. So we're seeing it sporadically, is what you're saying. But they're the ones who kind of believe in the hero, and we'll see if they can make the Necro work. They did kind of go to this 3 green core lineup.
Very important.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things, I think, in the entire thing. Onslaught comes through. Kethomi, he gets stopped on that chase going for Rue. Lap's not able to really get that kill onto the Jakiro. It's usually what I fall back to when I've got nothing really analytical to say. I go back to the heroes.
Colors.
Yeah, the heroes look similar. But Miero's going to be going for Vessel first.
I like that a lot. I think you need to bring some kind of early damage to this hero. I don't think you can allow to go for something like Radiance, because it's not a good Radiance game by any means in terms of you're not playing against the heavy physical damage scores. Beastmaster does good amount, but Invoker, it's all about the spell damage. Primal Beast never attacks pretty much. So having a Spirit Vessel should be good, lowering the cooldown as well with that Chakra magic. But I also want to see Boots of Travel. I think this hero needs that movement speed because you have Muerta and Necrophos. These heroes are very sluggish. Like, these heroes don't want to move, so I think Boots of Travel is a must item to pick up this game.
Rue hit with the dead shot. Not able to get back towards the tower, and now Liquid Frost on him. Saves coming to the area, and that will be a kill onto the Shadow Shaman. 4 heroes down here bottom. This is something that BetBoom did last game, too. They overwhelmed Spirit with a lot of numbers in these early rotations, and this is happening by the 7-minute shrine.
They are bringing in Tiny. Tiny with the Arcane Rune, one of the most difficult heroes to fight into early. He's still level 6. Maybe he would like to be level 7, but they are going to steal away the rune.
Kiritic, Fatal Bond's on him. Avalanche comes in, but now the Shadow Shaman's here. Sunstrike looking for it. Lands on a Kiritic and gets the kill on the Muerta. And that is going to feel quite nice if they can get some more. Save. He's bound to half health. Avalanche comes in. Shadow Shaman, tree thrown his way. Rude dead again. Panto now eating a lot from this Tiny, but the Illuminate lands on a collapse as this Primal Beast needs to kind of avoid the Keeper of the Light.
Dire are scanning.
It's 1200 damage coming out from Tiny. This is Tiny with the Arcane Rune and
Going
also
with
Chakra
Onslaught.
Magic. Avalanche is ready. I don't think he needs to commit with this one. Could be in a lot of trouble, but Sunstrikes are connecting most of the time. Save. Does manage to survive here.
Shadow Word not enough. Pretty accurate so far with the Sunstrikes. I know sometimes we have percentage numbers, but usually it's after I've said they hit 100 of them. Yeah, well, all right.
Oh, he denied it.
Denies the shield rune. 25% is not as high as I thought it was. Maybe we saw 2 hits and...
He also used one. Like,
range
he used
creep.
the range creep
Yeah.
immediately. GPK playing super aggressive behind enemy lines, making this rotation. It's already a 1k gold lead for BetBoom team. Miro continues to farm up.
He's
Level
in a good
6.
spot.
Yeah.
Top of the net worth. Not going to Boots of Travel, it seems, though.
Might still decide to change his mind. There isn't that much like physical damage anyway. Phase Boots is a cheaper option that gives you the move speed, but I want to see them like play with Tiny. I think Tiny will need a hero to play with. Also, Keeper of the Light doesn't have the recall facet, playing with the Solar Bind, which does make a lot of sense in this one. You have Muerta on the team, reducing their magic resistance. Great with Necrophos, great with Tiny.
This Kato with the Tiny is kind of disgusting.
It really is. It has always been.
And I'm kind of right there with you with wanting the Boots of Travel on Necro, just the way that BetBoom have been playing in these 2 games where they want to be together in high numbers. They've been moving around as a unit so far. Obviously, Kiritic needs to stay bottom and continue to farm, but they're looking to gank towards bottom. So they're sticking as a trio unit under some vision right now. They've got some vision of their own that sees Rue. That means Primal Beast is going to go to the outside of the lane and avoid the BetBoom rotation.
Root trying to make something happen in this top lane. Miro does go back. They would definitely love to get extra bit of XP. Their XP rune got stolen. Panto 2 charges on Black Grimoire. So he will get level 6. Let's see if they decide to move to the top lane, especially if they get some big rune like a haste. It's gonna be bottom. Denied again.
Marl denying these runes, making sure if he can't have it, no one can. But GPK just continuing to farm this creep wave, and Save's just right there to be the battery. Every single time Chakra Magic is off cooldown, he's throwing it right on that Tiny. And that has led to GPK having a pretty significant net worth. Top is Beastmaster, which is kind of to be expected. Not going to be fighting till he's got that power up in the Drums of Slom. Sentry blocking that Ancient Camp gets them that ob, so they'll take away a lot of that information that Spirit had protecting them over in the bottom lane as they've been rotating through the triangle. But Kethomi getting caught here by Yutoro, has that Primal Roar to get that kill and the help from this Warlock. Vision was up there. That's just about to expire, but stays there long enough where they're able to get a kill on the Jakiro and I believe add another stack to the Black Grimoire. No, he's still at that too.
Can be level 6 if he pops it. Beastmaster farming in a different area of the map. Kiritich also thinking about maybe using the Twin Gate, but so is Panto. And Scan does connect. Seems like they're gonna... Oh! Very nice read.
Panta going back to check if they were coming through again. Saw that it was getting activated. They didn't quite go through. They're actually going to TP into the trees. Smoke's going to be broken. Kento is going to be the one chasing. GPK's got the toss. And now the Macro Pyre looking for a Sunstrike to land under these heroes. A lot of damage done under the GPK. Tiny. And Kiritich comes back over with the dead shot going off the Golem. Doesn't land onto anything else. Rue down to the Solar Bind. Has the Illuminate to land. The Silence is there with the calling that just touches Rue. And they'll use that Reaper Scythe to kill off the Shadow Shaman.
Got that Reaper Sight. Extra bit of regen, and most importantly, he got the charge on Spirit Vessel. But they did not want GPK to die. He was very close to Blink Dagger. Will have it once he uses his combo on the Creep Wave. Blink Dagger about to be completed. This is like one of my issues. He doesn't really have that hero to play with. They might need to rotate to either Kiritich's lane, or they need to find a way how to get Miero into the action, because this hero is very sluggish. I also want to see multiple Force Staffs in this game. It's very good against Beastmaster, pushed him out of the trouble. Great against Shadow Shaman as well. Maybe he's not going to be able to land another spell. Because you saw just a Primal Roar with Sunstrike is enough to grab a kill. And once they get to the Aghanim Scepter and Invoker, this is going to be a huge increase of the damage. So you need some kind of a save. Kataomi farming in the mid lane. Getting tornadoed into Meteor.
Oof. Bit of bonds,
another Meteor.
And that will be a kill with the Macro Pyre, but the toss of the Avalanche while keeping him in the flames. Burning up Laurel. Solarbind is there. He can't even walk his way out. Laurel gonna burn up to the Macro Pyre.
They had no dust or sentries available, so he died to the damage over time from Macro.
It's a good trade to make. You're talking about the Ags on Invoker doing a lot there. You've got this Ags, I believe, delivering on Beastmaster, so even just that Primal War with the Drums of Slom, that's going to be doing quite a bit there too, and that damage is just going to be hard to intake. Need to be able to heal through it. They are getting a Force Staff, or at least it was queued up a second ago on the Necro, but now he's swapped over to going for this Pipe, so he's not going to be going for that Force Staff. Tiny's got one now queued up, so the swap to Pipe, and then Tiny after the blink, he's going Force Staff.
Yeah, it's too good of a game for it. I think they will end up having like 3, maybe even 4 Force Staffs on the team. Because Morta naturally builds into it. Tiny from the mid lane needs another way to reset. A lot of the times it is either a Force Staff, even like from position 4, but I think he also wants to be more maneuverable, wants to get multiple round of spells with the Keeper of the Light.
Roar used, Sunstrike flying
Got
in,
the Ghost Shroud.
but Blink, they'll jump. They've got the Avalanche. It's going to be through to Yatoro. The Axe is still, the damage is enough to get the kill into Miero. He's unable to do anything as he's been trapped by those Serpent Wards. GPK made the commitment in, 3 heroes nearby. Hex onto Tiny.
Another
Axe is
shackle
still
ready.
flying over. Avalanche, Ice Path, they've got the control. The Chaotic Offering committed, but the Dual
Good
Breath
fighting.
Macro Pyre is going to be a kill on Aru, unable to get those shackles or lock down GPK.
Very nice kiting from Bedboom team. They go in,
Toss.
they don't die, and GPK on the hunt. Save. Gives him
Avalanche
extra
with
bit
the
of
Solar
mana.
Bind.
Another
and
toss. And
Laurel,
another blast.
Oh my God. They have a +1 there. They might be able to get that kill. Just the Tiny again with the Chakra Magic. It's so dangerous. Necro feeling pretty ineffective in that skirmish top.
Just give this hero 10-15 move speed and make him viable.
Necro?
Yeah, it's so funny to watch him just move across the map.
So you were talking about Betboom and how they want 4 staff. And I mean, 4 staff is going to be a lot of movement if you have that many. So, you know, it'll be ways to get away from the Cataclysm that'll come out eventually. and avoid a lot of what Spirit would try to do with the initial burst. But do they have the follow-up from Spirit to sustain in a fight like that? Like after Roar and Cataclysm gets used, Pulverize, these are kind of like one-offs, right? So what do you have to follow that up?
You have Primal Beast. You have the other Beast as well. They are looking to fight a longer fight. Roar is ready.
Roar is the tiny Sunstrike. Takes down GPK.
They have limited amount of lockdown. If Tiny is gone, they don't have a reliable way of starting the fight. That's going to be a massive issue. And also GPK, like, even if he itemizes for a BKB, there's still 3 BKB piercing tools that are going to stop him from getting out of the fight. So kind of natural that he's building into something cheaper that can get him out. Root drops down the wards, playing with the catapult.
Hexes him, trying to stop the deny from Kiritich, and does so. But now shackles into a Sunstrike. That's down to half health for Kiritich. Dead shot, the damage onto the Shadow Shaman, but the Pulverize stops Rue from dying. It's a neutral who swipes the kill, and Collapse will take the life of Kiritich.
Once they get to BKBs on Spirit, I see a lot of problemo in terms of being able to deal the damage. And they are getting early BKBs. Even Yatoro realizing that Blink Dagger is kind of the item that you want to get straight away, so you can have better positioning for Primal Roar. But in this one, no BKB piercing tools. Invoker's also going to be getting one after Aghanim Scepter, and they grab another kill.
These Sunstrikes just chunk you so heavily to the point where they now get another kill on the Jakiro. Oop. Thinking about Chaotic Offering or just wanting to drop the base. Just for a second. Collapse in the area, and he's got that Blink Dagger, but the Avalanche and the toss, they go to the Blink Pulverize. Panto, Chaotic Offering with the Fatal Bonds, but Reaper Scythe committed. That's going to land on a Panto and get the kill. There's Solar Bound Collapse. Yaturo's coming in with the Aghanim Scepter. He's going to be trying to slum. Yatoro not able to really get anything off, as he's trying to skate his way towards Betboom and use this Aghanims to go Slom style.
Tiny jump.
Cataclysm blows up GPK. They go to the Primal Roar, it's onto the Necro, and where can you go? Nowhere. Onslaught in, Miero's dead, 2 heroes die on the side of Betboom, and they can potentially look for more. Golem taking this tower, and then they've got the Pulverize again. Ketomi's going to be dead too. The Golem of Panto.
Let's see what
and now Save. What is there to really do? Hex, the calling, it's down, it's silencing, but where's your damage? You'll pierce the veil, but can you pierce the lives of these heroes on Spirit? It's a full team wipe for Team Spirit. It's not the quickest wipe, but it's one that works enough.
And this game just completely flips. Having BKBs for the next fight, Yatoro even bringing BKB to this fight. We said it's not going to be an easy Muerta game by any means. She still deals quite a lot of damage, but the problem is once you get hexed, once you get controlled, you're just going to die to random spells on the ground. You're playing into multiple BKB piercing tools as well, and the fight is slightly longer. GPK blinks in, dies immediately to Cataclysm, and then Roar onto Miero. He doesn't, like, they have no saves whatsoever. If somebody gets jumped, that hero is going to die, which means that the fight is going to be 4v5.
No Lotus, no Lincolns, no survivability. There's no way to get away from these piercing roars and pulverizes, and you just don't have anything. Even in Pierce the Veil, you look at the damage that he takes so quickly on Kiritich. Just looking like they really have no way to... Oh my god, even the rock throw hits them pretty hard.
They have a lot of heal. They, like, problem is they don't get to choose which targets they go for in the fight, unless they get some big toss back. But GPK, once he blinks in, and there's also going to be Blink Dagger on Beastmaster, I think he's going to get heavily focused, either by Primal Beast or by the other Beast. As soon as GPK jumps in, realizing that he's the control, he's the one who can actually control the fight. Miro, we're seeing some downsides of the lineup.
It's very problematic that they just missed 2 of their control spells. Deadshot and Ice Path missed, so they have their way in to go for save, but then they'll retreat back. GPK goes in and hits this Avalanche on Laurel, but does it get the toss back towards anybody on his team? The mana is lacking there as well, and now they'll Fatal Bonds and connect these heroes on Betboom.
Spirit, very good kiting coming out from them. Regional Rune. He will pick it up.
You have multiple spells that are decent at disturbing the lockdown of Spirit. with Avalanche, Ice Path, Dead Shot. Those are ways that maybe you could catch them standing still. However, you use those and it's just free hunting for Spirit, as we'll see here. Collapse gets that kill on a GPK, and this Tiny has just been left small.
One of the best combos in the game is to have these long duration stuns for Invoker to set up the Sunstrike and now Cataclysm as well. Shadow Shaman, whenever Mass Serpent Wards are available, I think right now he can kill any hero on the map. That includes the Cataclysm, of course.
I can see that. I believe it. I've seen the impact of these Sunstrikes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Survivability for Betboom not feeling entirely there. Huerta is 3 levels away from the Beastmaster in the 1 position for Spirit, who now has an Aegis. So even turning this around or going for a spot in which they can kind of get a kill here for Betboom, it's now taking 2 lives away from this Beastmaster, and then having to get through the rest there too, which is a huge struggle. Saw the percentages for Dota buff. It was 81 to 19. Big numbers for Spirit, up 10,000. And definitely favoring them. And I don't really fully see an answer for Betboom. What do you do behind this much?
Even if you get a toss back, it needs to be like perfectly placed Ice Bat, and then maybe a Reaper side, couple of shots from Huerta. This is pretty much the only way that they need to start a fight, because otherwise they will click the BKBs, they will get the spells off, and the counter initiation is really through the roof on Spirit.
Smoke from Spirit, but Betboom the same. Going through the Twin Gate and not finding them is Betboom. As these heroes will all go towards top. There's a tier 1 to take, why not?
Very nice reads from Kiritich. Immediately goes back, rest of the team not playing with him, but maybe Collapse is going to be able to get the snipe. Has a couple of seconds, Rue also with the jump ready.
Jumps in, has the Hex Serpent Wards as well as the Shackles with the Cataclysm used. We'll get the kill on a Kiritich, now dominating for Laurel. How does the Sunstrike percentage hits? Okay, you guys are reading my mind. Don't do that. Stop. But how does it work with Cataclysm? Because that says 17, but he's throwing 10 technically on a Cataclysm.
Probably just counts as 1.
Okay. I was trying to make it seem like hard math to do. The hard math is, well, not there when you're trying to get a kill from Yatoro to any of these heroes on the side of Betboom, because it adds up so quickly that they have no answer for Betboom. They get kills on both supports, and, well, both Jakiro and Coddle can't do anything about it. There aren't many answers still, and they are lacking any sort of pushback.
If you show up on the side lane alone, you're probably just gonna die. Collapse, Arcane Rune ready. Thinking about getting the jump, but then they might catch GPK in the exact same spot where they caught Kiritich. Let's see. For now, they're gonna continue to farm up. All the lanes are getting pushed in. Laurel also can easily send his Forge Spirits to the side, has global presence from Cataclysm.
Smoke used, 3 heroes. Spirit looking and searching. Kiritich down here bottom. Not under any dire vision. He's got his own ward there. And Laurel's coming in. We'll see this Muerta and wait for the rest of his team wisely. So he'll have Sunstrike ready. And there's the roar, the calling. They're in between it, but the Sunstrike connects. They've got the Meteor. There's another kill. And this is just a carry that can't get the gas pedal down.
Can't deal the damage, and they have good ways of kiting his BKB anyway. Primal Roar lasts for 4 seconds. Then you have Primal Beast as well, which lasts for almost the exact time. And then you also have Golem. Plus, after the BKB, Shadow Shaman's going to control you. So, kind of almost impossible game for Muerta to play, especially if she's playing from behind.
She's playing from well behind. 6,000 difference between the Beastmaster and this Muerta. Faster than the average for this Shiva's Guard Beastmaster by about 5 minutes. And they aren't exactly forcing themselves into bad situations either. Spirit are kind of going from lane to lane, finding these pickoffs, extending that net worth lead, methodically moving around the map. But Boom just don't have answers. And that's the unfortunate part is, in having no answers, there's not really much you can do except try to farm. And Yatoro tries to jump in and get the roar off, which he will. Ice Path is down, Sunstrike thrown out. That's the damage dealt onto Kethomi to try and get this kill, but he heals up a little bit, and Yatoro's going to be slowed down. 22 seconds left on that Aegis. The dead shot lands, but where is the follow-up? Illuminate going to be just short of hitting this Beastmaster. He doesn't commit the BKB or anything of the sort to really overwhelm and get this kill on the Jakiro because he knows he doesn't need to. It's not a position where he felt that he was in much trouble and he still had this Aegis.
Laurel scouting things out. Amplified damage on him, 9-second BKB. If he catches Kiritish here, BKB is ready. But still, gonna be insane amount of damage coming out from his spells, no matter what. Shadow Shaman, relatively close by. If they get the initial jump, there's no Force Staff available close by unless GPK. Let's see where he is. Blink Dagger, Force Staff, BKB ready. Tumbler still in 3 seconds. So he might be able to close the gap. Rest of the team is also approaching for Spirit.
Has Tornado Meteor on Invoker, so we can start with that Tornado. That probably gives enough time for Shadow Shaman, who's got Blink off cooldown Serpent Words in 5.
Ideally, you want to jump with Shaman. Get the Hex so that Laurel can land his spells.
Reconnecting as they had some packet loss. We kind of felt it. They look good to go. Kato in the area, so is the Jakiro and the Necro. Will they commit to this? Not initially, but the Tornado now with the Deafening Blast. Shadow Shaman wrapping the High Ray around. Avalanche Toss and the Reaper's Scythe on a collapse. That's a lot of gold. That's a way back to get something out of nothing that they've been getting for the last 5 minutes.
It needs to be tossed back, but a lot of the times you fall short in a lot of these engagements where if you don't find it, the fight is extremely difficult. And as we said, they have very limited amount of lockdown. Primal Beast,
Roar used,
and the other Beast, they're ready to come in.
Not even needed. They have the damage with the slamming. Yatoro gets the kill into Miero. Necro dead for 50. Ru ends up falling. That's 2 heroes dead on the side of Spirit. Committing those Serpent Words, but that didn't really turn into anything more than just dying and putting those on cooldown.
All right, Boom showing some signs of life. Having limited lockdown, but it's all about GPK. He dominated that first game with Storm Spirit, had an extremely good start in the second game, but also playing into a couple of difficult matchups and not having that one hero that Tiny likes to play. Sure, he plays with Coddle, but it's not a damage that he needs in post 15-20 minute fights where you can't really solo kill people anymore.
Where they have felt much more survivable. Collapse off to the side, Kethomi. Trample, Ice Path, that stops him, but the Ice Wall slowing Kethomi up. Dual Breath throws the rock, lands on a save. Dead Shot coming through off the Coddle, but doesn't connect on anything. And now they've got the Shackles as well as the Hex that's locking him down thanks to Ru. Both supports out a little bit too far, way past their cores, and they'll both pay the price. Not too much of a shock that they end up dying in that situation with the way that Spirit are positioned around the map. Roche potentially up in a minute. See what the extra timer ends up being as they are putting these creep waves and these boars in on the top, just try and get this last outer tower.
Interesting build coming out from Muerta. Crystallis that is going to be turned into Revenant's Brooch, which gives you a good amount of spell lifesteal. It is 14%, which works amazingly with Muerta. But the question is, can you deal enough damage? Can you kill people during Reaper Sight? And speaking of Reaper Sight, doesn't even go off. Hero gets caught on the side. The pickup game is so strong. They can, as soon as you show up in one of the side lanes, it's almost impossible for you to play. You need to stick together as a team, maybe get a pick of your own, with Tiny, but it makes it very difficult. Team Spirit did not give them many opportunities.
They haven't had many opportunities, but some they've had from Bedboom are rare. We have a listen in with Miero, so let's take a little bit of a listen.
Давайте, парни. Не важно, какой исход этой игры, парни, наслаждаемся процессом. Заебись. Давайте продумаем дальше тимфайт.
Let's just enjoy the process.
I mean,
I like the mentality. They know that they're in a lot of trouble in this game, but being one game up also means that they can allow themselves to lose this game. Smoke coming out from Spirit. Very quick moves. Kill Tormentor, TP to the mid lane, and let's see the damage now. And the big AoE. Invoker just finished off Gleipnir.
I'm going to say that's one of the most insightful listen-ins we've had, because I feel like so many people who watch this and see a SmackDown like this wonder what the mental is in moments like this. Blink in, go to the Hex, Kato caught, and pulverizes there. It's going to be on the Muerta. They'll throw down the Cataclysm. That'll rip up Kiritich, but he's not dead just yet. Gets the BKB off, goes into the Pierce to Veil. Miero's going to be alive with a deafening blast. It lands. Reaper Scythe thrown out, doesn't do anything. It's going to be 4 heroes dead with the buyback being committed from the Kato Godlike here for Laurel. Tornado off the mark. GPK trying to TP out, but the Shackles connect. They'll get the Tiny, and they will get this kill. It's a full team wipe, an ultra kill from Laurel. This Invoker going crazy.
Yeah, not sure the process was really enjoyable in this one.
No.
It was...
But he did say fuck it earlier, and he was like, whatever, you know.
We're going to try. They know that they're in a lot of problemo. Laurel, Tornado, Rock, Glippity Gloppity, and that's going to be a full team wipe.
Yeah, he bought back. He's going to die again. GG's called. We're going to another game 3 in this tournament, because there's nothing better than 3 games.
Exactly, and especially if you see some of these like weird picks coming out. This time around it didn't work for Bedboom, but very clean execution from Team Spirit. Beastmaster, complete free farm, and also dream game for Laurel. You have insane amount of set.
It's full of knowledge, just like you, big guy. Let's get into that game.
I've been loving these interviews. I mean, big fan of how Milan's responding. I feel like he's showing a bit of personality there. I feel like he's trying to stay stoic, but he's been cooking. He's been cooking.
Yeah, they cooked a really good draft in this one. I do like what they have, and in theory, maybe some time ago, Void faces Void. Got to be more specific, because there are 2 Voids in this game. With time dilation against the Batrider Oracle, you're like, this hero can't really play the game. He's gonna get the spell. Time dilation kills the hero. I could kind of see Collapse being kind of in the top 3, 10 minutes in when it comes down to net worth. It feels like this hero just farms so quickly. You don't have to lane at all. You can start the creep skip. He does have a couple of Fairy Fires. By couple, I mean 3 of them.
Yeah.
Which is gonna allow him to live. Even if they decide to throw a Blood Grenade, jump in with the time dilation, Oracle with the Q, he's still gonna be okay. And also this top lane as well. Mars plus Ringmaster is a kind of okay lane, but I don't think they're going to be able to pressure Morphling as much. Throughout the game, Dagger is going to be very effective against Morphling Impalement Arts. It is a percentage-based damage. When he starts shifting everything in strength, that's also going to be dealing more damage once that's maxed out. That's 5%, and sometimes Morphling shifts to, I don't know, 3,000–4,000 HP. It's a lot.
Definitely is a lot in this top lane. I feel like they could get maybe Panto if they catch him out of position with those Impalement Arts spear combo. But we'll see where Panto's kind of playing the lane and giving it to Yatoro. 2 Voids here, and we'll see if this Void combo, if they can make it the Void winner or loser. You know, it could be a difference between them going and continuing on in the upper bracket. But things are, you know, in my eyes, even. But I don't think me and you have seen the safe lane Void.
No, we've mostly seen
We're only seeing Planet throw blood grenades.
We've only seen the shitty facet. We've seen the facet that does nothing. It feels very, very lackluster in a lot of these situations. Sometimes you see like Slardar, so reducing his cooldowns, something that has like lower cooldown ability, or like, oh yeah, it's doing a lot of things. But it's actually not. You can have ways of like stopping people. In a lot of these situations, I feel like Chronosphere would be just overall better because you have damage to throw into the Chronosphere. I'm talking about the previous game. In this game, they really don't have the damage that can go inside Chrono.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd non-synergy, right? We'll see if Kiritich can kind of get it done as he's going to be inside the Chronosphere. Although we only see half the Chronosphere when it is used. It's really a Chronodome. But it's better than the...
This might be the smartest thing
I've ever
heard
said.
You say. Yeah.
This time I used Croak of Genius for that sentence.
Maybe the other half goes in the ground. Maybe it's the upside down from Stranger Things.
Ooh.
That's why he looks like one of the Mind Flayers.
This might be the smartest thing I've ever heard you say. Unfortunately, though, that if he's the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things, that means he's going to fall off after Season 2. So, unfortunate. And since we're here in Season 7, may not feel so good. And what doesn't feel so good is First Blood being given up by Collapse. So Kataomi gets that. We're seeing more and more Oracles. This is a support that's finding its way into some of these lineups. It's not the most popular support by any means, but what makes this hero the support you want?
I think we've seen it mostly as a response to Batrider. We've seen it yesterday as like a double support, Shadow Demon plus Oracle. I believe Liquid played it. That it did look extremely good. Because it's very hard to initiate, and then like the support duo like this doesn't really deal as much damage. It's pretty similar thing here in terms of like how you're going to be starting the fight. It's not your position 4 Blink Dagger Tiny or a Tusk that can jump in. It's more of a we keep the distance, we let Void Spirit and Mars jump in, and then we follow up our spells on the Arena, on the Chronosphere with the big ulti coming out from Ringmaster, and the 2 saves that can be used even on the supports when they get jumped. Problem is, you're playing against Tiny, you're playing against Batrider. Repositioning tools are very difficult for supports to deal with because they need to be close to cast range, especially pre like one item, either pre-Blink Dagger, maybe sometimes Ether Lens. It's not going to be enough for them to get the save. The tossback is just making their life miserable.
What could make it a little bit more difficult, though, is what you were kind of alluding to, right? The Wheel of Wonder. If they are making those blink commitments in, they might get caught in the Wheel of Wonder, and Miro might get caught in the washer here with 3 heroes. And Rue gonna get that kill onto this Mars, so finally evening it up at 1. We're at that 6-minute mark, the first power rune over mid. And that's gonna be a regen rune bottled by GPK. A little bit of a stagger there, some packet loss for these players. But yeah, you know, there's commitment that's gonna be coming from the Batrider, the Tiny, the Puck. Is Wheel of Wonder, if they're in the right position, going to be enough with a Tame the Beast like that? We saw how good the Ringmaster can be with these Wheel of Wonders.
Yep, it's really good, and it also synergizes well with the other ring, Arena of Blood, so you can fear them away. They bounce off the walls of the arena, getting some extra damage from it. And maybe post-Chronosphere as well could be really good follow-up. That's going to lock them in place. And we are seeing Collapse pretty much jungling, farming these stacks that some he made for himself, some Tiny made for him. Needs to be slightly more careful. Does have 2 Fairy Fires available.
Going to the typical Batrider build we've been seeing. He's going drums right now, but what we've been seeing is the Boots of Bearing, right? Boots
of Bearing straight away. You don't need to pick up a Blink Dagger immediately, and then there is a lot of magic damage, so this time around probably going to be Pipe afterwards. Toss back.
They spot him for a second.
He's going to be fine.
Thinking about going for this 7-minute shrine. Kiritich is here, but he's only level 5. They've got a couple of supports. They don't have the toss initially, and now time dilation. Kiritich,
it's a level 3 time dilation.
Taking a lot of damage, but I say a lot. He's healed it up with the time walk, so he should be a-okay. GPK comes back, and now the Firefly. He's low, but then heals up a bit more. Dream Coil committed to get the kill to Kiritich as well as Kataomi. The heroes with the K starting their name, ending up dying. Panto does fall, and the shrine's picked up by Rue. This was a lot over here for Spirit that ends up working out. Kiritich, only being level 5, made this very tough for him to just kind of survive. Use that time walk pretty early on, and had to use that time walk. And
yeah, and it's a very long cooldown because he only has 1 point in it. 21-second cooldown doesn't allow him to get the second one out. Time dilation, sure, it ruins Jakiro. He has 4 abilities, so time dilation is going to be through the roof in terms of the damage and slow. Laurel. Coil was used in the previous fight, but Collapse, as we said, I do expect him to be in the top 3. 10 minutes in, this hero is just insane, and those 2 kills that he got, definitely gonna help out.
Miro getting the other shrine, so he's closing in on getting that level 6. He's trying to get that as much as he can. Impalement Arts, Panto, he's caught. Save gets the kill with the Tame the Beasts.
Seems like the plan for BetBoom team was we tried to, in every single game so far...
Overwhelm.
Yeah, exactly. Just bring one extra hero so Team Spirit can't punch back. And so far it's been working out, at least in the first 10 minutes.
Now, is that playing off what they know is the game style of Spirit, where they know that Yatoro maybe is not going to rotate over,
yeah,
and they're not so willing to make those rotations? Because we've seen it 4 or 5 heroes at times from BetBoom, and now Miro, he is level 6. He's holding a skill point, but he's going to commit to the TP out. We'll make it back all the way to base. Panto here with Yatoro, but unable to get a kill. Meanwhile, bottom again, there's 3 heroes here waiting to go with Kiritich, who uses this Chronosphere onto the tower. Puck's going to come in. Tame the Beast does the damage. Purifying Flames to get the kill to collapse, though Dream Coil, but won't snap it. So now you've got the escape back to survive a little bit longer, and Rude just does not have more to give. That allows GPK to come over with the Astral Step, the Aether Remnant, and the kill on Aru. And again, it's more of that game plan from BetBoom, where they're just looking to overwhelm with numbers. For me, that's simply addition, but in this game, it's bringing 4 heroes to a lane to try and get a kill.
It was a nice try in the top lane to grab a kill on Mars when he used both of his abilities. He just TP'd out, and in the bottom lane, again, they bring numbers, they kill Collapse. And this time around, I do like the build on Void Spirit. I think we've seen different itemization, but seems like the one that is sticking out the most was casual Urn of Shadows into Phase Boots, and then picking up Shard, picking up Kaya, and then you start to scale. Like maybe you get some gold from the Shard, you can put it in the camp, and then get the gold for free. You don't necessarily need to commit by being there, but this time around I do favor this build in most of the situations, especially when there are high HP heroes on the enemy team. It is so much damage, it gives you a good amount of stats. You are playing against Morphling, so Spirit Vessel does make a lot of sense.
As a time dilation at level 3 for Kiritich, who got that kill over bottom, so he's getting a good amount of gold. He's a little bit behind of what Yatoro has, but that is Yatoro basically heat map-wise staying in the same corner of the map the entire time. Not diving too far, hasn't died like Kiritich did in that shrine fight. Void Spirit, he'll get that, like Shard, like you said, and then he'll also have ways to kind of get rid of the information that Spirit have around the map with that True Sight that gets added to that Shard. Yatoro's doing a really good job, so they've got to keep their eye on this, and I'm wondering if Spirit Vessel, when they get this for GPK, are they going to wait for Shard, or are they going to go with this Vessel immediately and do what they've been doing, bring the numbers, go Arena, and try and get this control and get this kill?
If you're not active enough, you don't get enough shadow charges, so you don't have it. I think as soon as he picks it up, they will try to make a play onto the Morphling, because they gave him too good of a lane. He's really not pressured by Mars in the lane. You're playing with one of the stronger 5s, playing with Jakiro. So for now, sitting at 5.5, 11 minutes on Yatoro. Pretty happy what has happened so far, and let's see if there's going to be a TP rotation coming up from GPK.
Spear Arena. Really well done by Miero, but he throws it and then immediately retreats. He was out of the Coliseum so quickly, he was like an extra character in Gladiator. But, I mean,
He got the shift off. He got the shift off, so immediately, I don't think they even get the... Maybe there's a chance.
You need more numbers in that.
Yeah, but with the follow-up of Will of Wonder and Tame the Beast, there's a chance, but this is Yatoro we're talking about.
He's been continuing to impress. His Collapse had a bit of struggle in the lane, and I say a bit because he's still very much ahead of the Mars. So comparatively, he's having the better time. He made those stacks. You called it out. He's going into the boots bearing that we've talked about, and he's almost there.
They invaded some of his stacks as well, so that's one of the issues, stealing the area of the map where he wants to farm.
Just trying to slow him down if they can, but he's kind of keeping up with the mid laners of this game. Having that level 6 now on Ketomi, they've got the Oracle with the False Promise. Aether Remnant doesn't land, Silence with the Waning Rift, but Impalement Art's off the mark. Not having that catch. The catch is okay from BetBoom, but it, you know, minus Chrono, it's not anything too crazy. Ooh, Tame the Beast quick. Pantos, TP stop. Ice Path on 2. They get this kill onto the Jakiro. That was well placed, and GPK getting that kill. They're going to move for more. Amplified damage still has a fourth of its time left on it,
Tower is under
but
attack.
kind of retreat from the bottom lane and don't give anything more up from the side of Bet Boom.
Their tower damage is very low on a Bet Boom, and then they need to bring numbers, which they did. But sieging tier 2 towers is not going to be as easy. You also don't want to have these heroes just hit the tower. You need to take the fight first, so that's going to be one of the issues. And also in terms of tower damage, how they scale, not really scaling that well, which means that we might be looking into a game where Spirit feels fine with other team taking it slowly, even if they're playing like with a 3, 4, 5k gold deficit. But for now, it is a 1k gold lead for Spirit, so everything Gucci on their side.
Dire are scanning.
Definitely everything Gucci so far. Bet Boom looking for their Golden Goose attack on to Team Spirit. But Spirit's the one coming over smoked, and they've got this Dream Coil. Macropire laid down, Ice Path off the marks. It's going to be Ringmaster just kind of surviving and not really being too bothered by multiple ults being thrown his way. This should have been
Radiant are scanning.
probably a kill and save, but it's just not easy with the Escape Act, and when you're missing the follow-up, and you only got 2 heroes there, you don't want to go in too far with the tier 1 tower right next to him. Overcommitment is sometimes a thorn. GPK, dual breath on him. Aether Remnant lands Yatoro. He's on the run, Astral Step. They'll continue to chase as they've got this Spirit Vessel. They'll land the Tame the Beast, but the Spear does not hit. And now the Wheel of Wonder, they'll hit the Hypnotize, the Avalanche, and now the Dissimulate as he turns into the Void Spirit, trying to get away. It's a long chase. The arena zones out Spirit, so they can't react and return fire.
Again, bringing in the whole squad. It took them a long time. 2 Spirit Vessel charges used in the previous fight, a couple of ultis as well. But Chronosphere is still available. Kiritich, we didn't talk too much about him, and also the matchup against Faceless Void. He loves to play into this matchup. If you're able, because there are no saves on Spirit, once you land that Chronosphere, whoever you start hitting most likely is gonna die.
They're back at the same spot. They've got Vision on Panto. They catch Collapse. He's the one they want to go for. Spear looked like it went through multiple trees, but didn't latch on anything. Collapse is going to be able to leave.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Maybe my eyes deceive me.
We could see that again. Try to slow down, see what happened.
If the game was a little bit slower, I'd be able to see a little bit better. Farming the triangle for Morphling, and again, still just kind of avoiding Bet Boom, who are over towards top, trying to avoid them as much as he can, as he knew he was caught top and probably doesn't want to be in that area if they do have that vision, especially with them making a second attempt in the same spot. So you get a little bit paranoid about being in an area like that. A lot of camps stacked
he
on the
blinked
side
in
of Spirit.
aggressively. They like to see this one. Oh man, the Rue got blocked off by a creep. They saw him.
Ooh, Laurel's dead.
They wanted to attack immediately in the bottom lane, but this little area near the tier 1 tower bottom,
Has fallen.
only one guy can be in there, and even though his name is Tiny, he is not tiny enough to squeeze in.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Dire's
Blink
middle
dagger
tower
now.
is under attack.
We'll see what they can get with this. If they can maybe go for Kataomi, who places a deep ward. It was immediately pinged. And Rue picks up a set of wards right after. They do get this Blink dagger, so now they're going to have that follow-up to the Blink of the Tiny, and they'll get the
Dire are
Blink on this Bat Rider. And having, again, multiple points of just kind of jumping into the fight, I'm curious to see how Save kind of tries to counter this. Is the Wheel of Wonder going to be the most? How does the rest of the team just kind of deal with these jumps in? They're going bottom. They're looking for this Void who just time walked, but
He needs to
he's
back
got
up.
Kataomi here.
They also have 2 supports sitting behind him, so I do expect Kiritich to play and like just be slightly more aggressive in the fights. Big damage upgrade coming out from him. He did finish off the Mjolnir, and there's the jump.
Collapse blinks
Arena
in. They've got the lasso onto the Mars. They'll look over at GPK, but it's going to be a Chrono onto 3. 2 of his allies. Magpire's down, but it's not doing a lot of damage. They'll hope for the Wheel of Wonder to follow it up. They'll look for Rue. God's Rebuke pushing him out of the circle of the Wheel of Wonder. Yule's on himself, so goes up into the air. Miro looking for control maybe on Yatoro as he's speared up and now latched over onto the cliff that's over by the steps. Wave form up out of the high ground. Nobody dead on the side of Betboom. They lost 2. Time Dilation lands on a Panto, and Paleman Arts hits onto the Jakiro. Aether Remnant control, and that's going to be a double for Kiritich. 3 killed on Spirit after they tried to counter with a Blink Lasso, but the commitment with the Chronosphere is enough to get the damage out and get a victory in this fight.
I like the way Kiritich played that fight. He knows that he can go in aggressively, start with the Time Walk in case he's in danger. There's going to be Escape Act. There's going to be Oracle ulti potentially that comes out as well, even though it wasn't even used. And now they're ready for round 2. Big save. Let's see if he gets another Time Walk off.
And Tame the Beast. Escape Act snaps the coil, and then we'll use that False Promise. They'll get the kill and a save. They want to chase for more. They're going to chase for Ketomi. Try to kill both supports. They've got the Blink. They'll toss him back. That's going to be a second one dead. But they do save the Void, and truth be told, for Betboom, that's all that matters.
Stealth Spirit punching back, knowing that there's no arena, no Chronosphere, so they can go in and try to make something done. Their heroes don't rely that heavily on cooldowns. You have Lasso, you have Coil, but you're still going to be taking fights even if you don't have those 2 ultis available.
They're not really the longest cooldowns. Maybe, 75 feels like a lot, but it's not that much, and it's now 75 turning into 60 on the next level of Lasso for Batrider. Yule's Arena, Spear, timed, and perfect from the arrow. GPK is right there with him, and Laurel's going to die on this puck. It was one of the things that was kind of talked about as being the difference maker between these 2 teams in these drafts, and right now, well, they've done a good job of slap-shotting this puck, and, well, they feel like quite the hockey team so far for Betboom.
They're ready to take another fight. 20 seconds for Chronosphere. Tormentor is also close by. Blink Dagger for Mars. No arena, though, but still, his positioning is going to be much easier. In terms of sustain, they don't have that much. This is a bit of a risky move if Team Spirit kind of managed to maybe squeeze in some smoke, catch them off guard. But right now, okay, he gets it, Katomi gets it. That's going to be their regeneration.
You always love to see that shard come in for the Oracle. You bless the reins of destiny, and will ultimately try to heal up more and survive in these fights. Some more sustain for the side of BB team. It's come to that point where Void is caught up to Yatoro despite the fact that he's had that early advantage and was ahead by a little bit, being unbothered except for that gank up top. And Kiritich is getting there. He's picked up on this Void. He's got the full Mjolnir finished, about to have that Manta, and you got to wonder, how are they going to shut down Kiritich? Now, that one death happening at the Shrine pre-6, since then, they really haven't been able to fully grasp the Void and shut him down.
Collapse is getting
spotted, and Miero's here. Collapse going to be able to go on the cliff. A little bit of Croaker help, but the Aether Remnant catches him. Spear well off the mark. As the God's Rebuke lands, they'll hit the lasso onto the Void Spirit. They are bringing over more in Save, who's trying to use those impalement arts. But they're all kind of just whiffing as the Chronosphere is used over mid. It's on a Laurel, but now Laurel hit by Tame the Beast. The Avalanche lands onto the Faceless Void. They finally got that kill to Collapse. They did use the Chrono mid, but that didn't get them anything, so that's a long cooldown that's going to be there for Kiritich. He'll spend that time continuing to farm, most likely now.
We did say that there isn't really many abilities they can throw inside of the Chronosphere, and it does show. It also took them good time. There's a good ways of following things up on a Chrono with Tame the Beast, Wheel of Wonder, even just a Remnant, which will give him enough time.
Dream Coil, jump in, Waning Rift, there's the toss. Doesn't snap the coil, but the Reigns of Destiny on top of this Mars. And sustaining and not really losing much. We'll look to get this Yules and land this Spear with the Arena. This time a little bit too early. But Laurel's still in some trouble. Phase shifting, but the Wheel of Wonder is there. He'll have to blink past it, does so successfully, and now they're looking for more. They've got the toss back, but this is still going to be a save as he goes into the Escape Act. Save, Tame the Beast, Laurel, Yatoro both hit, and they'll end up dead. They still get the Ringmaster, but it's just that so far.
These are all skill shots. That's one of the problems with the lineup like this. They're still chasing Root, another toss back.
He can't get the false promise
Katelmis
in
was
time.
very quick with Fate's Edict 2 times in a row. Once on Mars, once on Ringmaster. But also missing the Spear, that's the big one. You also have Tame the Beast, Wheel of Wonder, Remnant, which are not the easiest things to... Oh, that's why, because he was phase shifted, which means that you're not going to be able to deal as much damage. That would definitely have enough damage to kill him.
Now here's a question. If you're phase shifted in the chrono, technically chronoptic time has stopped. Should you even fall out of phase shift?
Might be too difficult for me to answer that question.
Trying to see how you feel about chronoptics.
I feel good about Chronoptic Energy, Chronoptic Facet coming out from Leshrac that we've seen in the first game. Wasn't too successful.
Thing is that when you're able to phase shift out, you avoid a lot of damage in that chrono. But Panto not avoiding the damage coming in from Yarrow. Hard to survive as this Jakiro. But Rue gonna be chased for a second. We do have a listen-in for Laro, so let's bring it up.
Ай, блядь. Заебали эти клоуны.
That was a good one. And they also have a clown on the team. I mean, they are annoying him, that's for sure.
Into Roche and Reigns of Destiny. Are they going to make the jump in? No Batrider, no more. This feels like if they're going to go for it, it's going to be just a snatch play. The Illusory Orb to try and get some vision, try and figure it out, but the Avalanche, it's well early. Tame the Beast on it to the Wheel of Wonder and the Chronosphere all committed. Jorah's going to come in. Spear's going to be avoided. They go to the last. It's going to be under the Mars. They get the kill on Laro as well as Rue. Both heroes dead. Aether Remnant collects on a collapse, and they get themselves a double for Karatage. He's got the
clutch
Aegis
Chrono.
and a double kill.
Nicely done. They kind of bait them in, knowing with the Raid of Destiny, they have extra bit of a region coming in, and there they are. Annoying Team Spirit.
They all fit in one card, too. It's really impressive.
And we're seeing... We thought we were going to be seeing 2 Voids, but we're actually seeing 3, because every single time Yatro, he turns into Faceless Void. This was the thing, always having this insane amount of attack speed, turning into heroes that do have Bash. Spirit Breaker, for example, turning into Void, and also Time Walk, plus also playing off of Time Dilation. This spell is insanely good, one of the reasons why he also did go for level 10 talent, didn't go for the 15, opted to go for more damage-oriented build instead. Can't really blame him, but Karatage taking a couple of sips of water, needs to stay hydrated, but so far it's been looking really good for him. These chronos that he managed to land. And we're going to see how they're going to be approaching the next fight, because once you get to this Scotty timing, you are playing against 3 range cores. Scotty plus time dilation, the heroes are not going to move.
No, not really. We've seen the power of this item previously. It's going to feel quite strong, and they've got themselves a 6,000 net worth lead for BetBoom team. I was looking over at the Ringmaster. He's got the Carney Classics. It's all about... Hey, you ever been to see the carnival? You ever see a clown act? Hold that thought. Avalanche, toss, and GPK, no worse for wear. He's got to actually turn this around, looking for the Tiny, but Ice Path stunning up GPK. Impalement. Not going to land. So looking for the Impalement arts, but the paintbrush just a little bit too slow.
And they will also have the Tricore pretty much of items that are the best against any healing. So Morphling Shift is not going to be as effective. You have Spirit Vessel, relatively early Spirit Vessel from GPK. Then you also have Scotty that's going to be coming out in the next minute or 2. And also Shiva's Guard that GPK is starting to build.
It'll be a while till he gets there, but the idea is right. Yatoro still holding on to a Dormant Curio, by the way. He's looking for what? Gunpowder Gauntlet? What's he looking for in Tier 4, though, that he's going to like, considering that's a Tier 3 Dormant Curio?
Probably Giant Small. If he wants to tank, I think Rattle Cage is also an okay option.
I think it goes to goes from 110 to 140 on the Dormant Curio, on the physical damage.
Yeah, because the other tier 4 items are not as good. I assume that he didn't get, which are, the chances are very low that you don't get Serrated Shiv or Gunpowder Gauntlet as your item. So the next tier of items is, I mean, Flare's Bota is
that would be pretty good.
that's probably the better option. I kind of forgot about that item.
You forgot about the leather water bottle that we were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yule's into the air, and there's the spear to follow it up. Time dilation comes in, but time walking into the ice path. Rue's still going to be dead to rights. But Yatoro turns into the faceless void and will time walk away. Keen-eye, unrelenting eye. It's a bit of a tongue twister for the Bat Rider, grabbing that extra cast range, just trying to grab these lassos, be undeterred from
it's such a good item.
away.
You are playing against 3 melee cores on the enemy side, so you will get that. It's an insanely good item, and you're playing against Scotty. You're playing against time dilation. You have one way of dispelling things. Good thing is he also has Boots of Bearing, so for 1.5 seconds you are also immune to any of the slows. One easy way to try to reset.
Panto's going to be caught in this situation. Meanwhile,
on the
there's
other
a
side,
Chrono. That's going to be onto the Bat Rider. They're going to get a kill into both situations. Drop down a Dream Coil. They've got the silence onto the Ringmaster. They've brought 3 heroes here, but they've already lost 2. The Arena, the Spirit all connects. Rue's going to be dead. They'll go to the Wheel of Wonder. And now they've got the Hypnotize. He was on the edge of it. They're doing the damage onto the Morphling. They get the kill to Yatoro. It's saved with the Wheel of Wonder. That does it. There's no wondering about how he died. It was Save who did the damage.
The explosive damage that they do have, and also the team fight, is pretty nuts. Like they also don't have, like, it's so good for Faceless Void. I know that we haven't seen like this combination yet, but it's also very easy for him to play a game where he doesn't have to care about jumping in, providing some vision, maybe getting a lucky bash, slow them down now with the freshly bought Scotty, and then rest of the team is ready to jump in. Void Spirit as well. Mars, it's very good for Mars that he doesn't need to be the first initiator of the team. A lot of the times you see him jump in, especially if you don't have like anything to follow it up. This time, it makes Miero's game so much easier. And that burst of a heal, I don't think I've been impressed by this one facet. I might be slightly biased because Mars is one of my favorite heroes, but Victory Feast facet, such a strong facet that gives you like such a great scaling into the mid and late game because it's percentage-based heal based on your max HP. So the more HP you have, the more you're going to get healed. It has 50% effectiveness on your allies, but it's still quite a lot. 15% on Faceless Void, who's sitting at 3000 HP. That's going to be extra 450 heal burst. And Yatoro also needs to be careful here. Trying to bait the Manta.
Spear. Ah, damn the arrow.
Exactly what he said. Like, he doesn't want to go in first. Somebody goes in, they get the initial vision, and then he can follow it up with the Spear Arena.
Completely just got him. That was a big burst of killing off this Morphling, and you can see BetBoom have just bursted into a net worth lead that feels, or is starting to feel, insurmountable. Lasso, the TP attempt, the damage is there, Collapse is dead, so BKB and TP, well, they're worthless, because they had the heroes, they had the numbers, and they get that kill. They take out a second. Spirit crumbling under the pressure that BetBoom is bringing their way, and just destroying any ounce of hope that they have at the moment. They'll go for another one. They'll find... They're just all over the place. Oh, man, Miero, don't stop. Miero is on a whole nother level.
He is. They are getting spirited away by Miero. He's just on every single part of the map. He is involved in, what, 17 out of 25 kills, and also going to get the D ward, while Kiritich is finishing off the Barracks, and this Butterfly is not going to be as effective. Kiritich almost immediately, like 4 or 5 minutes afterwards, does have MKB, does have Serrated Shiv, does have Mjolnir. These are all True Strike items. Mjolnir on the proc, but Butterfly just doesn't feel like an item anymore, and all of these items are also magic items. Like, you deal damage through the magic, you don't care too much that Morphling has 40, 50 armor.
It's been impossible for Spirit. They're going to need some big items, and it just doesn't feel like the timing's going to get there. It's going to be another objective here for the side of BetBoom, turning into what could be Roche soon. We're going to see the initial timer go down in 40 seconds. Now you've got a shard for save, and figuring out when the next Roche is going to be up, and Aegis potentially into the hands of BetBoom that could finish this game up. You're going to need so much in that short time for Spirit. It just doesn't feel possible. They're maybe even going to feel the need to have to contest this Roche like they did the last.
Yeah, but the clowns are too annoying. Yeah, they're not letting them breathe. Very fast moves across the map, utilizing the twin gates multiple times to be at every single part of the map. All the abilities are coming off cooldown. BetBoom team ready to strike again. And the team fight is so much easier for them. It kind of needs to be like the toss back, the drag back into tier 4 towers with the Batrider's lasso. They have good ways of snapping the coil. Ideally, you would want to have Laurel to have maybe like be closer to level 5. I know that we are... It's a lot of copium, but... because you have ways of snapping the coil. When Morph turns into Mars, you have tossback, of course, and the flame break.
Root blinks, but the double step, finding him, but the Aether Remnant just not in time. Long respawn timer for Roche, so a little bit of extra time given to Spirit. Try and find the right item to fight back against BetBoom. And it's going to be tough. Within this timing, could definitely see Kiritich finish off this BKB before they go into Roche. And then how do you really kill this guy? I mean, how do you kill him before he gets the BKB? They've been unable to do that anyway.
How do you kill any of them? Like, you have Aeon Disc on Oracle, you have Ringmaster, both of them have Blink Daggers, Ether Lens. They can really keep the distance and then just go in, because 3 cores are the ones that are gonna be starting the fight. Kiritich, he's in again.
Taking out Panto once more, as that's gonna be Jakiro's 8th death. 8 and 5. Laurel here to cut a creep wave. Potentially. We'll see if he commits to it. Every time it feels like they're showing on the map for a second in the lane, all of BetBoom show up. They've been sticking together quite well, and since the beginning of this game have just overwhelmed with numbers, and it has worked out. They've taken elementary school addition and subtraction pretty seriously. 5 is greater than 4, 4 is greater than 2. All those simple ones that just have seemed to work out throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah, really proud of you, Matt. I didn't know you could do this advanced math.
I'm
never bragged about it, but
I'm back in class these days. I have a lot of time on my hands. And it's an online course. Been kind of busy. GPK, he's also looking for the BKB. Roche is going to be up in 7 seconds. BB team finishing off getting these tier 4s. And I was curious to see what Morphling gets. He's still 4 Madstones away, and now 2. I want to see what he has in terms of options. And there he goes. Gets those 10.
it has to be Flair's Boda.
Yeah, he gets it. Got the Flair's Boda, gains that 19.5% base damage. They'll go into Roche. They've got the Reigns of Destiny. Roche will roar, but Spirit, they don't really have the tools to defend against this.
And Flair's Boda is actually an insane item on Morphling because it is base damage. So a lot of that extra green damage that he is getting, currently sitting at almost 400. The question is, can he get the right clicks in?
It's been tough. He's getting bursted.
Not effective. He's not the hero that you kind of used to seeing him. There is Shiva's Guard, Scotty, and Spirit's Vessel. We also did not see him shift in the previous fight where he got speared into the arena straight away. Seems like GPK is 1, sometimes 2 seconds too late for the move that he's trying to make.
Rue up here. He might get caught. Spotlight. looking, but not finding him. It's actually GPK who finds the Tiny, who's going to TP away. No, just dies from saves damage right at the end. He was in base, according to his death spot. Another pause, and what Spirit's, like, is it high ground defense that they have to rely on?
It is.
Strictly?
Try to buy time, maybe Morphin get to one more item. I see Daedalus. This is like the most damage output you can get once you pick up the butterfly. BKB Manta, he needs to have multiple way of dispelling all of these annoying things, playing into multiple silences. If he can get the hands on that, maybe try to creep skip, and then the toss back, the drag back from Batrider.
BKB in the backpack of Kiritich Shard on the way to get that backwards time walk. Kiritich will just stand up out of the high ground knowing he's got this Aegis, but there is that Ags on Batrider, so if there's a second hero to show up next to Kiritich, might make that blank in with the double lasso.
Seems like they are aware of it. They don't want to risk anything. Letting Kiritich just slowly siege. GPK thinking about jumping in. Shiva's guard.
They're going to have to try and go, but it's on the backlines that they're going to make a move with the BKB. They've got the Dream Coil on it too, but there's the spotlight onto Laurel, and now they'll have the double lasso, but where's the damage to follow it up? The Ice Path as well as the Macro Pirate's going to be there, but now Kiritich is going to go after the Morphling. Yatoro taking too much damage. He's going to be silenced up. Time walk away. There's the Chrono. It's going to be thrown onto the Morphling. They'll get the kill. He's dead for a night. He has buyback, uses it immediately. Phase shift Illusory Orb back out by the high ground, but Kiritich, he's coming in. It's all of Bet Boom. They're the killer clowns from outer space invading the base of Spirit. They get the kill on a Panto. He's going to buy back too. Down goes Yatoro. He's gone for so long. The Bet Boom symbol is all over their base, and the buyback symbols aren't even fading from these heroes before they die again. Yatoro, Laurel collapse, all dead. Ultra kill comes in for Kiritich. They cannot stop this Faceless Void. He is dominating this fight, dominating this game, and they have no answers. Hex, as well as the God's Rebuke. Laurel going to be able to phase shift. They'll buy back on the Oracle. They'll have the sustain. The Spear lands. Rue caught, chipped away, chiseled down, and gone. He has to buy back, but man, there is not much holding on here for Spirit, as it's just 2v5.
They managed to only kill Kataomi in that previous fight. No Morphling for 70, no Jakiro. Batrider's dead for 30. They found a relatively good angle with the Batrider and Puck ulti, but there's really not that much follow-up damage. And Kiritich pops that Chronosphere immediately, kills him instantly. They also have Hex available on Mars. So much control, so many things that Morphling hates to play against.
They're kind of banking on the fact that it's taking quite a long time to get through these tier 4s, but it's not going to take 45 seconds to get through this throne.
Can they throw them into the fountain?
Dream Coil, Laurel on the back line looking for the Oracle. Gets to go to Kataomi, who did buy back. But now where do you focus your attention? As they'll use the Hex, they've got the Spear. It's going to be the control to collapse. He's still alive. Now the lasso. Can he drag them all the way back into the fountain? Oh, Kiritich on the steps, able to time walk back towards the throne. Flame Break lands to get the Aegis out of the hands of this Faceless Void. Rue is here with a sliver of health, and the Spirit Vessel's on him, and the Astral Step from GPK is there. Time walk in, time walk out. Throne going to be focused. That's going to be the game, and Bet Boom take the series 2-1 over Spirit.
Beautifully executed draft, man. Kiritich, GPK, they popped off Miero as well. He was all over the place.